So, I've got good news and I've got bad news. The good news is that we're back from break. The bad news is that I uninstalled Granblue Fantasy because it was 78 gigabytes and I had to rearrange some things. And Steam is telling me that it is going to take at least half an hour for it to finish downloading. Which is unfortunate because I did want to play more Granblue Fantasy Relink. So our options are spend the next half hour doing something else, and then try and see if we're done with Granblue Fantasy, or to just give up on Granblue Fantasy today and do it tomorrow. And I missed ocean fishing PvP. Let's go. That's fair. Why would I delete it if I was going to play it again? So, Clary, I have a limited amount of space on my computer, and Granblue Fantasy is yet another 100 gigabyte game. So I've got a couple of games downloaded that I'm trying to record content for in order to do edited video content that goes onto YouTube. I've, of course, got the mainstays. I'm never going to uninstall Final Fantasy XIV. And then, like, you know, there's a couple of other odds and ends that I've got in the weekly rotation. Granblue Fantasy entering into the weekly rotation was actually something that I wasn't expecting. And so I do need to just go through and like clean some space up in general, but Granblue Fantasy is like 80 gigabytes, so, you know. I should get Steam Raiders to play during just chatting. Interesting. Yeah. You went fimching. Hell yeah. How'd you do? Clean inventory. Absolutely not. It's my favorite. Fields of Glory today. PvP are at maximum 20 minutes. But if I'm lucky, maybe I could play 2 15-minute games. Steam Raiders is something that I was moderately interested in the past. I don't know how much I could get into it in the modern era, realistically. But 13k points, nice, hell yeah. Well, all right. Oh wait, no. Okay, now it's saying it's only going to take 11 minutes, which I guess that is one game of PvP. Oh, Slay the Princess run. Oh no, I'm sorry. PvP does sound like fun, because it is. And it is Fields of Glory, which is lore-wise my favorite map. But we haven't done a Slay the Princess in a while, huh? You bought a 3 terabyte drive years ago, still got 1.45 terabytes left. I think I've only got a 1 terabyte drive, and I've got a solid state drive, and I've got a hard drive somewhere, but yeah. We have not done PvP in a while. All right, fine. Here's what I'm thinking. Because we need to... got a couple hundred gigabytes left on yours. Hell yeah. Here's what I'm thinking. If I do PvP, I can assemble a crack team. If I do Slay the Princess, how enjoyable is that? Because I know Presna and Wirebone are instantly game for PvP. Me versus you all, let's go. What is Slay the Princess? So Slay the Princess is this brilliant, mind-bending visual novel is what I'm going to refer to it as, but that's it's visual novel as a title is very reductive for it. It's incredible, it's beautiful, it's soul-wrenching, but it is very dialogue heavy and very narrative focus. You cannot PvP tonight, actually. Well, there we go. It looks like it is Slay the Princess, as Clary had suggested. Drink up because I'm yapping. Well, now I'm going back to wanting to do PvP. Damn, what am I, chopped liver? No, Presna, because I like chopped liver. But okay, no. We're going with Slay the Princess. Wait, did I uninstall Slay the Princess? No, I still have it installed. Okay. It's got some similarities to the Stanley Parable. Yeah, you know what? Stanley Parable is not a bad shout, Pixie, for sure. Slay the Princess is maybe... Oops. I uninstalled Granblue. Here's Slay the Princess instead. Mesphia. You sped through Slay the Princess and then refunded on Steam? No, you fiend! Why? I love this game so much. You know what? I'm gonna buy and gift you a copy of this game. I love Slay the Princess. What are you talking about? Are you talking about how you were the initial person to suggest the Slay the Princess run? Yeah. I'm also crediting you. Come on now. What horrors you may find in these dark spaces, have heart and see them through. There are no premature endings. There are no wrong decisions. There are only fresh perspectives and new beginnings. This is a love story. The last time we played it, yeah. We played it for Halloween, which was incredible. And then we played it on January 2nd as the last time, so now we can go. You've seen this art before? You might have seen some promotional stuff for Slay the Princess. It's lightning in a bottle. Oh wait, did I? Oh no. Well, we just have a YouTube stream that's false, but I'm not going to stop it to correct it, so. Hauntingly beautiful, very much.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Haha, suckers, did I say it was a lot of dialogue? Because it is, but I'm not the one talking. The game is very quiet. Oh, that's right. It's got the old audio stuff. Yeah, I accidentally uninstalled it, so it's reinstalling in the background right now, Angelica. Okay, hold on.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
There's an option to set it up so that when you're playing a game, it doesn't stop the install. So it is still installing in the background right now. Okay. So for those of you who don't know, we've had multiple playthroughs already. The end of the world, what are you talking about? Have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up? Killing a princess seems kind of bad though, doesn't it? Can't someone else do this? Forget it, I'm not doing this. Have you considered that maybe I'm okay with the world ending? Do I get some sort of reward for doing this? Oh, okay, thanks for telling me what to do. Sweet! I've always wanted to off a monarch. Viva la revolucion! Silently continue to the cabin. Turn around and leave. I don't know if we've done sort of the like vapid straight line, so killing a princess seems kind of bad though, doesn't it?
Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
We're not going to go through all these explores. We've done them in the past, but yeah. Silently continue to the cabin.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within.
Proceed to the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Also, there's a not inconsiderable amount of content warnings. There's like gore, there's like body horror, right? So we always recommend doesthedogdie.com as just a general lookout. But yeah, this game is incredible. Take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Enter the basement. I want to
The door to the basement
say...
creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Because we got the lover's ending. We got the murder ghost ending. We got the... like, existential nihilism bad ending. And then we got the, I don't remember, what ending did we get when we played in January? It was also a very good one, but it wasn't, like, one I liked quite as much. It's quite quiet in our head at the moment. Yeah, this is a fresh run.
Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
Oh no, it's Dommy Mommy, Princess.
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
No.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Hi.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
What? No way. Why would you even think that?
That giant knife you're holding kind of gives it away, doesn't it?
The blade. Of course she doesn't want to talk. Who'd want to have a conversation at knife point? We should drop it. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Drop it.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands.
Oh no, wait, we did this path already.
Ceremonious.
Oh wait, no, we've done this path already. Oh no. Oh, it's fine.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed. We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Yeah, it's pretty awkward, Twirl's hair.
I know. I just said that. Now why are you here to kill me?
I have my reasons. Do you think I just come here to kill someone without even knowing why? That'd be ridiculous.
And yet, you hesitated the moment you saw me. And you dropped your knife. If killing me was really that important, you'd have a little more gumption, don't you think? So,
God, I hate this
someone
iteration of the
led to
princess.
this, right? And whoever it is, it's probably the same someone who shoved me into this dark pit and chained me to a wall.
That's a fair question. Who chained her in this basement, and if she's so dangerous, how did they manage to trap her? And why have we been left to do their dirty work? Don't give away the game, and don't let her distract you. That's exactly what she wants.
I'm right, aren't I? So who put you up to this?
Do I have the option to answer? No, I don't have the option to answer. There's a narrator voice in my head. Okay. How would I get you out of here? I'm here because you're supposed to end the world.
Don't just tell her that.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think.
You like this, princess? I think I'm just bored at this point. It's been like 3 or 4 runs.
I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
Just how long has she been down here?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
Because, like, what's going to happen now, if it is like the other routes, right, is the fact that we brought the knife down. The fact that we brought the knife down means that, like, she's like guaranteed to kill us now, right? No, and if I'm being honest, I'm more inclined to trust you than I'm inclined to trust them.
Sooner or later, you'll understand that I have your best interests at heart.
She's got the scary eyes now. Yeah, like, here's the problem with it from like a like narrative standpoint is like we already know that she can kill us. And so the whole like, oh, I can kill you is like, okay, you did it. Like, this part of the tete-a-tete is over. But I do like how much more power the princess has in this moment. Again, like, I'm not super interested in this iteration, but like, on like, if this was the only run I was ever doing, I'd be like, okay, I'm listening. But like,
How sweet. Now be a pal and help me get out of here, would you? We could figure out how to deal with them after I'm free.
Examine the chains. I'll see what I can do.
You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key.
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
And if there isn't a key, do you have any ideas?
Well, you do have that big, sharp knife. You could always cut me out of here.
Like, I will say, and I think this is the reason why Dommy Mommy Princess has lost her charm on me, right? Is like the first 3 times that suggestion is shocking. At this point in the game, it's very rote.
She speaks with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out. Anything to finally be free. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here?
And we know there's no one else there. We know that this is the narrator closing the door on us.
You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. You're here to slay.
And you won't leave until the task is done. Hey, let me out of here!
Shouts and pleas are met with silence. I'll repeat myself once again. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done. You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they? The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happens if you do.
Save the princess.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the
We're
princess.
gonna have to go through some, like, murder routes again eventually.
Chain.
I do hate the murder routes. Yeah, the murder hobo route was the second route that we did. And it was interesting. Yeah, Nyx, this game freaking rocks.
The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet. She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Also, if you notice, our cursor is a little, like, dragon hand holding a bloodied knife. This game is so good. And if you notice in the, like, shot before this, it's a little dragon hand holding the knife, cutting her arm free. Or some sort of scaled creature hand. I presume dragon, because dragon and princess, but yeah.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Approach the locked door.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I just can't let her escape into the world.
And so this is the narrator takes control of our character moment.
As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
So, we've done this before. Oh, we can't warn her now. Oh, it literally will not let me. Oh, that's crazy. So if you go down this route before, normally, you can go down to warn her, and you can go through a route where you basically fight against the narrator to save the princess. It's grayed out that option. Sure.
You bring the blade down and plunge it into the princess's back. Finally. Okay. There's no going back now. Though the blade left a deep gash in her shoulder, she barely so much as flinches, turning around to stare at you incredulously.
Are you serious? I don't know what came over you, but if we're doing this, I guess I'll have to kill you.
I guess we're going murder hobo route.
Do you think I need both of my arms to do that? I can beat you to death with one.
Although, in the interest of fairness, we haven't seen this route yet.
But I don't have to tell you that. I'll go ahead and show you.
I mean, okay, now here's the question. We've never had give up before, and like there's a real nihilism. There's a real nihilism here. Like, have we done like a what's the point in anything route?
As the blade falls from your trembling hands, the princess rears back, readying a bone-shattering haymaker. You fall to your knees, barely able to process the ringing in your ears before she hits you again. Every blow is as punishing as the first. You feel bones shatter with every impact, unknown ruptures blossoming with blood somewhere inside of you.
Right? And so this is the dragon hand, right? Which does beg the question, why do we need the knife if we've got claws? But yeah.
If we're lucky, the wound you manage to inflict will be enough to at least delay her escape from this place. If we're very lucky, it will kill her before she gets out.
Oh, too weak to even try fighting back. How disappointing.
She places a confident heel on your chest and pushes you down to the ground. Her knee falls to your throat, your windpipe crushed beneath a weight you didn't think her slight form could possibly possess. It can't just end like this. right? I'm sorry, but it's over.
Damn. I can't believe it's over.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
And this is the reason why the idea of...
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Dommy Mommy Princess loses its, like, staying power is because, like, if death holds no sway over us, okay.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
You saw this on Steam recently. 1NFK, if I haven't already said spoilers for you, I cannot recommend enough. And this is counterintuitive, I know, because I'm always like, you absolutely should stay and boost my engagement. This is one where I will say, turn off the stream. Go play the game yourself. This game is incredible. Then the danger is gone. It's just getting Dommy Mommied. Yeah, which, like, confession time, here's what I got. All my fellow soldiers will tell you, that's not for me. I could not possibly describe something I was less interested in. No, you would not play, it's too spooky, you just popped in. Well, if that's the case, I'm happy to, helm the ship. Okay, no.
Oh, don't you start grandstanding about morals. The fate of the world is at risk right now, and the life of a mere princess shouldn't stop you from saving us all. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
The first time we heard Dommy Mommy Princess, I will admit, I was like, okay. But, like, the problem is that, like, Dommy Mommy Princess has that, like, initial shock value, and then after that point onwards, right, like, the point is that she's that strong character. But as you'll see later, right, the idea of the character being more complicated and being more interesting is one that's built on. If she was like baby girl princess, I would also be upset after a couple of playthroughs, because it's just it is literally mechanical, right? Like, the point is that she has one note to her personality, maybe two, and that's by design. And, like, that's a part of what makes this game so smart. This game, like, deserves way more attention than it got. It's lightning in a bottle. Like, I wish I could wipe my memory and go back to the first time playing this game. Yeah, and, like, let me be clear, right? Like, it's just because the game blasted my expectations out of there, and then now coming back, right? Like, it feels almost too familiar, too comfortable. But again, you'll see what I mean. It's wild.
You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. What does it matter what he knows? There's nothing we can do to stop her. She's just going to kill us again.
I don't think we've gotten Voice of the Broken before. If anybody wants to go back and see it, if the January 2nd VOD is still up, you might be able to find the voice that we had back then, but yeah.
She is not going to kill you unless you let her. But slaying the princess and saving the world is going to be much more difficult than it has to be if you spend the whole time second-guessing yourself.
I don't remember that this adds anything, but let's go for it. YouTube VODs should certainly be up. I don't know if January 2nd we were simulcasting Ender Friend. Do you remember?
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me.
Okay.
You died last time which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. Of course we died. She didn't feel pain. She didn't feel much of anything, did she? And she broke every bone in our body before she decided to let us die. What were we supposed to do to stop her then? What are we supposed to do to stop her now? It's pointless. She's just a princess. Slaying her shouldn't have been difficult, but congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences.
Did we get broken before?
Of course there aren't any consequences. The princess killed us and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me.
I don't think we got broken before, but he's sounding very familiar.
In a hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would? If she ended the entire world, why should we even bother? We might as well just walk up to that cabin, break her chains and let her do whatever she wants. It's all the same in the end. Just because she's capable of ending the world doesn't mean you're not capable of slaying her. Both of those things can be true at the same time. So chin up. I believe in you.
I guess we should try harder to slay the princess this run, right? Have we done... I don't think we've done one where we, died and then killed her. Can confirm it's called one of the live streams of all time, Lamau. Thank you, 1NFK. If possible, and do not sweat it, if possible, can you find who the second voice is? Because we always start with voice of the hero. And the narrator, obviously. But I don't know who we got last time. Because first was the lover. Then we got... then we did Murder Ghost. I'm pretty sure we did Murder Ghost. Oh no, actually, first we got Voice of the Paranoid. But that one didn't count, because then we unwound reality. Then we got... the lover as the second one. Then we got the murder hobo one. And then... I think we did 2 runs last time, but I cannot remember. We had a skeptic. Oh, I did skeptic last time, Clary? Let's talk about this princess.
Just be quick about it.
All she did last time around was beat me to death. How can someone like that end the world?
She just can. Believe me, I wish I could tell you more, but you'll just have to trust that what I'm saying is true, and that, despite it all, you're fully up to the task that's been given to you. We're not. We might as well just pledge ourselves to her and stop pretending that we're capable of doing anything in this situation. She probably doesn't even need to try to overpower us.
1NFK, that's a valid point. Totally feel free to just drop it. I would rather you stay along for the wacky ride than answer an idle curiosity. Trust me, it's gonna be wacky.
Can we tone down the pessimism just a smidge? I'm not being a pessimist. I'm just being realistic. You're being annoying.
I like Broken. I'm not gonna lie to you, hero.
Just ignore their bickering, and whatever you do, don't pledge yourself to her. I cannot stress enough how absolutely catastrophic that would be for everyone, yourself included.
Now, my desire to be Dommy-mommed is infinitesimally small. My desire to listen to the nameless, faceless, disembodied voice of the narrator is even smaller. I think we're going to see if we can pledge ourselves to the princess. Who locked her in that basement? What is this place?
People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
If people locked her away, why couldn't they slay her? Why is this falling on me?
Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are. Oh, I didn't know we were special.
Fuck off, hero.
Of course you're special. Why else would you be here? Who cares if you think we're special? As far as I can tell, the only thing special about us is that we get to experience painfully dying all over again.
You're being cagey. What aren't you telling me?
I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult.
Oh, also, Mesphia, sorry. I did see your message earlier. I just didn't want to interrupt the moment. We are at... Yeah, we're at 40% download. I think this is going to be a Slay the Princess kind of night.
The less you know about her, the better.
That's all.
Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
Do we? Okay. Because we haven't tried really murdering the princess. And we haven't tried, pledging ourselves to the princess. If you want us to murder the princess, type 1. If you want us to pledge ourselves to the princess, type 2. I'm just gonna go with like an eyeball majority. Oh wait, no, that's right. Turn around and
You
leave.
have already committed to my completion. You cannot go further astray.
Okay, fine. All right, Pixie.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
I also need to switch over the audio super fast. Hold on. Are you guys still able to hear the music? That's not what I wanted. Okay, cool.
Lying? Cheating? Why would she even bother? She didn't need to do anything like that last time. She caught us off guard last time. We'll be fine. Let's just keep our wits about us. At least one of you still has a shred of sense. Just make sure you listen to him and not that whiner.
We're gonna try to listen to the whiner if
That's
possible.
what you want. I guess I don't have a say here. The interior of the cabin is larger and more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Why do we feel so small?
These content warnings are whack. 1NFK, Slay the Princess is... You are not ready. It is... And like... This is bizarre, right? Like, the first time we went through, it was just a cabin in the woods. Why is it different now? You are not ready.
We don't feel small. We are small.
You didn't say anything about the mirror on the wall.
That's because there isn't a mirror. There's the altar, the blade sitting on the altar, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. Who cares if there's a mirror? We're all going to die anyway. And I'm sure that if we looked in there, we'd just see something sad and miserable looking back at us. We don't need any reminders of what we are. It would only make things worse. For the last time, you're not going to die unless you let it happen. And luckily for you, there isn't a mirror, so no one needs to worry about confronting a grisly visage any time in the near future. Though, for what it's worth, if there were a mirror, I'm sure that you wouldn't find anything sad or miserable in it looking back at you. You probably look perfectly normal.
You probably look perfectly normal. Maybe that's what I should make my social media profile. You probably look perfectly normal. That's a 5-word horror story if ever I heard of one.
Probably. Do you not know what we look like?
Oh. That's new.
He knows. He just doesn't have the heart to tell us.
I care about whether I'm being lied to. There's a mirror.
As do I. And yeah, there is. I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is no mirror. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would a mirror even do? Let you waste time preening yourself instead of doing what needs to be done.
This whole cabin is different than last time.
Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess.
Approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny.
Wipe the mirror clean.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. We should count ourselves lucky. Some things are better left unseen.
So that's exactly as it expected. People have been overwhelmingly, and by people I mean 2 people, who are the only ones who really voted, in favor of us pledging ourselves to the princess, so let's get this route out of the way.
Yeah. Maybe she'll be more receptive if we're unarmed. Blade, no blade. It doesn't matter. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase, its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease. This is actually kind of nice. It's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
Okay, now, I know what I was saying about Dobby Mommy Princess, but...
You weren't kidding when you said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time.
Well, I mean, it's too late. It's too late for us to commit to murder her route, because we don't have the dagger.
You shouldn't have come down here unarmed.
We literally, the second we didn't take the knife, we committed to to trying to ally ourselves with her.
We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see her.
Oh my god, Broken is a cultist now.
Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there. It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Though if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess.
You thought it meant I just didn't have it out? No, we left the dagger up on the altar. She changed him. Of course she did. People who are weak and hurt and small are desperate for something to make them not feel that way. So the voice of the Broken there being like, ooh, is a very natural response, right? Like, he is attracted to her strength. In fairness, a knight probably wouldn't kill her at this point. Probably. We have to eventually start going back down some murder routes. But that's not today. Oh, Granblue Fantasy finished downloading.
Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes into view, and you tumble to the bottom, entering the vast, temple-like room beyond. The princess towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall.
Oh, I got the vapors.
The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you it was pointless to resist her.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants. I see your hands are empty. You've already given up, haven't you? You aren't even going to try and kill me. How sweet. And more than a little disappointing.
She's disappointed in us?
Kneel.
Are we... This is the inflection point, right? This is the inflection point. I want it said that I am doing this under duress. Oh, look at how duressed I am. Oh no, I can't believe you guys are making me do this. Oh, the agony, the misery.
On her command, you fall to the floor, knees painfully connecting with hard stone.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk? The last time we met, you told me I was destined to end the world. That thought wrapped itself around my heart. It has pulled at me since the moment I squeezed the life out of your broken lungs. I could feel its fundamental truth awaken me.
So for those of you who haven't seen previous iterations and do want the inside scoop, that's a very important line she just gave us.
The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new, and the world as it is now is overdue for alterations. It's time for me to seize my destiny, and you, little bird, will help me seize it.
Well, that gives away the game, doesn't it? It certainly does. And beyond that, it more than lends credence to our conversation in the woods. I don't love the thought that in some other reality you failed to destroy her, but what's done is done. I can only hope it helped you learn a valuable lesson. You are the only one who can deal with her, and if you don't, well, she's let you know what will happen, hasn't she? Then you shouldn't have trusted us with her destruction. She is inevitable. Can't you feel it?
You know what sucks about this? Somewhere in here, there is a paladin corruption narrative. Right? Like somewhere in here, there is the like worshiper of the established order, the follower of the seven-pointed star, a Christian, however, like whatever flavor you want to do it. And this is them meeting the adversary, right? This is them meeting Satan or Relore cultists, the drowned god, whatever you want to put as the adversary. This is them meeting the adversary, and this is the moment, narratively speaking, before the corruption, right? Like, because if we're committed to swearing ourselves to her, which genuinely, I kind of wish I had brought the knife at this point, but who am I to deny the will of the people?
He's being melodramatic, but he's not exactly wrong, is he? What are we supposed to do to stop her? Okay, first things first, you're going to have to stuff those pessimistic thoughts someplace far, far away and commit yourself to what needs to be done.
Narrator, I don't think the Broken is being pessimistic.
The stakes of the situation should be perfectly clear to everyone now. And if you're going to save the world, you have to have faith that you can pull this off. You can't win a battle that you've already lost in your mind.
I need you to understand, the more time goes on, the more I want to fight her. And I'm not saying that's a good idea. I'm not saying that's a smart idea, but my desire to fight her is increasing right now. What would you have me do? What do you have planned?
All you have to do is break these chains and set me free.
I know that's the narrator's goal, right? But like, this is the first time the princess is metaphorically and literally bigger than the narrator, right? Every other time, the princess has stayed more or less human-sized. There's the time she turns into the ghost, right? Like, the ghost didn't really feel like a threat to all humanity in the same way. This is the first time the princess has, like, deity level energy. You know what I mean? Either we are literally smaller or she is literally bigger because of the staircase. Remember, the narrator described us going down the staircase as our entire height was barely enough to go down each step. If you're so powerful, can't you just break the chains yourself?
Don't be rude. Of course she can. It's not rude to question someone who's apparently trying to end the world. That's exactly why it's rude. We should know our place.
Oh, Broken, you had me in the first half, but now I'm really chafing, bestie.
I can, easily. But that isn't what I want to do.
You had me in the first half, but I'm not loving it.
The story of a terrible and bountiful god unbounded of her own will is no story at all. It's not worthy of everything I am or everything I'm bound to become. It isn't even worthy of what I was.
I mean, that's a fair point.
The destruction in Genesis that's to follow in my wake is deserving of a song that can echo for eternity.
Literally, a story about someone who is strong, accomplishing the thing that they want, has no conflict. It does not follow the traditional structure of a story.
The song of you being so struck by my glory, so overwhelmed by what I am, that you feel you must deliver me into the world.
No. You're losing me.
And from your act of utter devotion and submission springs a new dawn, a better dawn.
Oh. Princess, you had me in the first half, but like, I'm really starting to chafe right now, bestie.
Submit now, submit later. It makes no difference. Because in the end, no matter how vainly you struggle against me, my will triumphs over yours.
No. No. Just because you're supposed to end the world doesn't mean you actually have to do it. You can be whatever you want to be. This one has never yielded us good results, really, but...
This isn't about desire. This is about what I am. And I have little interest in discussing destiny with one that cannot see the divine truth that shines in my heart.
Okay, now we're talking about divinity, we're talking about destiny. Now you're reeling me back in, princess. Let's talk a little bit more about the nature of fate. What happened to you after I died?
Know the limits of your privilege, little bird. There's an empty place at my side for you to fill, if you'll have it. But it is not a place for an equal. It is a place for something worthy to be kept. A priest, perhaps, or a pet.
See, you had me with priest, you lost me with pet. Can we, like, come to some agreement about terms ahead of time? Oh my god. Oh, it just said, hey, you're done now. I'm yours to command. Pledge yourself to her. Well, that's made it much easier. We don't have a choice. Hey, check the tapes, 1NFK. I was very under duress.
Your will was so easily broken. Am I that magnificent?
The lighting is doing you a lot of favors.
All you need to do now is break my chains.
If this is what you want, then I guess there's not much else for me to say. No, you can't just give in to her. Not when the stakes are so high. Not when you're so close. I won't let you do this.
There's still something in the way. A greasy film inside of you where it doesn't belong, trying to conceal you from me.
This is what I'm here for. She can see the narrator.
Is that a person? No, it used to be a person. It's something different now. An echo.
Okay. This is new information.
Is she talking about you? That's impossible. She's not supposed to be able to interact with me.
You're a small one, aren't you? A shriveling little worm stretched beyond its limits, trying to control things that it can't understand.
Okay. Hold on.
No, what are you talking about?
I don't care what you are. You're mine.
That was a short day. That was a short day in the recording booth. That was a very short day. What am I supposed to record? Screaming? Okay. All right, bestie. He does such good delivery every other time. We gotta give it to him.
Rise, my little bird.
So is she going to replace the voice of the narrator in our head?
Without hesitation, you're brought to your feet.
Oh! Yes! 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 Good!
Break my chains.
Because here's the interesting thing about this on the conceptual basis, right? Is that the narrator in Act 1 demonstrates his control over the narrative, right? He locks the door on us. We can't leave the basement. What's so good about this, right, in Act 2 of this particular route, is that we kneeling don't matter, right? Us as the player character don't really have agency in either direction. We can't meaningfully affect the story, but the narrator can, because the narrator is writing the story. I'm very into that as a contrivance.
And how are we supposed to do that? We don't even have a weapon. All you need to do is believe it's been done.
That's also very relevant for every other route we've been through, but don't worry about it. And what if I don't believe? What happens then?
You poor, wretched little thing. You already do believe. You've always believed. All you have to do is open the last door to your heart.
Chat, I'm so sorry. I can't.
It's easy. And once you let her in, you'll be safe and free forever.
I can't. I'm sorry.
Please, don't do this.
I can't. I'm sorry. If you want to see what it looks like when you give in, you gotta go get the game yourself. I'm sorry. I can't. Oh no. I don't have a choice. I have to. It's over. I'm sorry.
There's nothing to be sorry about. This is how it was always going to be. And it is good.
No!
Alright, I'm done with this. I'm just gonna go sit in the corner. Let me know if we get our agency back.
This is me about to be really petty. The voice of the hero is my voice whenever somebody tells me in like a roleplay that like they're God, basically, right? Like that they have immense amounts of power. I'm like, okay, let me know when it's my turn to get back involved in the story, because this one is not for me, Chief. But also, this is not that narrative, right? Because this is the out of character agreement that you were going to write together with another person for a very specific storyline. Break her chains.
Her chains shatter, and the cuff falls from her wrist. She is loose, and the end is upon us.
Do you see her little tiara turned halo as well?
What a good disciple you are. Come, it's time for us to leave.
What happens now? She is loose, I am free.
Nothing. And then, everything.
Take her hand. I have the honor to be your obedient servant. A. Bird. So we don't get an Act 3 in this one. Interesting. Okay. But you do not take her hand, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
It's going to be okay. Just trust me. We've been here before, and you always get scared.
But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. I don't want to look at us.
We always say these two lines. We lie to them about it's going to be nice, and we always say it's not the end. Whatever's on the other side is going to be nice.
Okay. If you say so, we'll trust you.
And we will never stop saying that.
A mercy.
Approach the mirror. And it's good to see you, Rye. You approach the mirror. Gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave. But you need to see what's in it. You've unraveled. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. Proceed to the cabin. You are at the cabin. Approach her.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. I'm curious to see what it means for us to know it.
And this is the final crux of this game. This is what makes this game unfathomably brilliant. We make the princess with each iteration of the game we play through. Every time we go through, we are exploring a new dimension of the narrative, and we are adding that new dimension of the narrative to this thing at the end. And so it's the reason why the princess doesn't have a name. The narrator doesn't have a name. We don't have a name. It is entirely about the journey, right? And so it is so good. Do you think there are people out there?
It doesn't matter if there are. People are too small for us. You and I are the only things that interest me.
Do you think that anything is real out there? Do you think that we're real?
We are real. Nothing is an idea that dwells in the absence of something. But nothing cannot exist on its own. And because of that, nothing can't exist.
There's a lot of smaller moral philosophizing that this princess does that I am a little lukewarm on. But overall, we're big fans. This Sathis is Slay the Princess, and if you are even slightly curious and want to know what this is like, I cannot recommend enough you going out, like you stopping the stream and you going out and purchasing Slay the Princess and playing for yourself. If you stay, If you stay, I am robbing you of the experience. If you stay, you are losing an incredible experience. You don't got that slay the princess money? Buckle in, cowboy. Do you have thoughts on this vessel?
This one is dominance, a figure capable of bending everything to her will. She will make for a terrifying and divine heart. Do not mourn her, for she would not be able to mourn you.
Do you know what's going to happen when you awaken?
If I did, I would already be awake.
When you send me back, I'm not alone. There are voices that speak to me. Some of them are mine, but one of them is something else. I call him the narrator, and he wants to kill you. Do you have a narrator? Have the vessels had one?
No, their minds are empty, existent, but constantly shifting into something new. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond?
And so what we are about to do when we choose one of these options is we are about to make a declarative statement that by virtue of its statement is true. And this is what is so smart about Slay the Princess, is when you go into that cabin and when you choose an option on the list of options, whatever the underlying assumption behind that option is, becomes reality. So if you treat the princess like a wild beast who's going to kill you, the princess turns into a wild beast who's going to kill you. If you treat the princess like a divine entity, like something beyond mortal comprehension or understanding, she turns into that. By your choices in the narrative, you make that narrative come into existence. He does. I don't know why, but I know this for a fact. He does. I don't know what I'm going to do when I find him. He does, and when I find him, you and I are finally going to have answers. He does, and when I find him, I'm going to kill him. He does, but you're going to keep that to yourself. So we don't, that the ostensible thing here being, we don't tell her. He does. And when I find him, you and I are finally going to have answers. So what is the truth, or is it all a lie? Do you know about the philosophy of solipsism, Sathis? How familiar are you with solipsism? An Ender friend, bold to assume that people who are awake know what they're doing. I think it's if you're capable of comprehending the idea of being awake, you are awake, right? Because in dreams, your character, you in your dreams never go, what is the nature of being awake, right? I know.
Do not look to one who fears me for your truth. The only answers worth knowing are those we can find within ourselves.
How many more vessels do I need to bring you?
1. Whatever you bring me next will be enough, and then gravity will pull the others back to me. I will be singular, a final multitude.
We've only gotten one more run before we get an ending? If this is the last time, is there anything you would like me to bring you?
These gifts are a conversation, and each one shows me the contours of your heart. The only thing I want to see is what you choose for me when the thread is fully drawn.
If this is the last stage before your completion, then I'm not going back. I'm just going to stay here. No. I'm ready to go back.
The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are. I will be here, waiting for you.
Everything goes dark, and you die. Chapter 1: The Hero and the Princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Fuck. Okay. If we're gonna finish tonight, we have to go so fast. Okay, so chat, I need two things. Hey narrator, welcome back from hell. Yeah. Chat, I need two things. One, are we killing the princess? Is this a murder route? Two, once we kill the princess, what, like, is it murder? There's a matrix. There's 4 options. I'm gonna do a poll, and then we're gonna go on a very quick break, because we need to. So poll. The options are, what are we doing? Our options are murder. So that's M/M, murder/free. Oh god, this is just M and F. For those of you out there who are not super excited about that, I guess murder save might be better. Yeah, I just had a real gender dysphoria looking at that. Save, and then save murder. I'm gonna do a quick commercial break while this is running, but this is 2 minutes. I need people to vote because we need to establish what we're doing here. So if you're not subscribed, you're going to see commercials. Don't worry about it. Just vote and we'll go from there. Slay the princess, male, female, slow burn. Damn, listen. Wow, save out the gate. Now, for those of you who are curious and aren't planning on purchasing the game, I'm about to say something. If you are interested in purchasing the game for yourself and you don't want spoilers, why are you still here? I feel like I've pretty declaratively said, get out of here. Save is the way that you get the first time the romance ending. And the romance ending was so fire. It's so good. God, I think a Slay the Princess fanfiction for me would ultimately be, I don't know. Wait, do I love the idea of the Slay the Princess fanfiction? Wait, am I really into the idea of a Slay the Princess fanfiction? Wait, am I really into the idea of a Slay the Princess fanfiction? Very Eldritch. It would be very Necronomicon, right? Well, I mean, if nobody else votes, it's pretty clearly in the save camp, right? All right. Let's rock and roll.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Silently continue to the cabin. We're speedrunning this.
Sure.
We know this part.
Interior of blade.
We know this part.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated. Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Oh no. It's Sweet Princess. Oh no. Oh, we're back here, are we? Oh, my beloved. Yeah, the ad break is so that way there's no more commercials running for this last part. It's not a proper break. It's just Twitch's break, so that way Twitch gets their money.
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life.
My beloved.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
My posture's bad, yeah. I'm here to save you. We've already confirmed it with chat.
How many times do I have to tell you how dangerous letting her out of here would be before it finally sinks in?
Wait, really? You're here to rescue me? I was starting to think I'd be stuck down here forever. Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
Hey, bestie.
She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. I can't believe you're here. I've been waiting for something like this to happen forever. I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
If we're about to go down the route I think we're about to go down, y'all ain't ready.
Don't do it. If she gets out of those chains, we're all one step closer to the end.
I'll see what I can do. Examine the chains.
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs.
Narrator knows this is a game and he doesn't want it to end. I'm definitely with you there, Ender friend. I think the narrator is the character, us, right? I think everyone in the game is us, and I think they are different manifestations of our psyche, including the princess, including the narrator. We'll get there when we see the end. We gotta go.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
I'm going to check upstairs. Maybe the key's still lying around somewhere up there. And if not, maybe I can at least find something to break you free.
Okay. I'll be here. Good luck.
Yeah.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place.
Y'all remember.
Is someone else here?
Try the door.
But it's locked from the outside.
It's the narrator. Return to the bottom of the stairs.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf.
I should have probably warned you guys about the next thing. We fucking love Sweet Princess in this household.
As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now.
Right, so it's again the narrator trying to force the narrative.
Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
We won't. He's not wrong. Save the princess. Do y'all see how we don't even have an option? The game knew. Save the princess.
Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place.
Don't we all feel great about this? About how we're saving the princess?
You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal. No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you.
Now let's get out of here. Approach the locked door.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world.
Sorry?
As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
What are you doing?
Come on. No! We can't warn her! We can't warn her, right? Here's the problem. The game is locking us out of this option. I'm clicking on warn her. It won't let me. So Alt F4. We can't. Sorry, sweet princess.
Okay, there's no going back now. I'm with you to the end. You bring the blade down to strike at the princess's heart. But she's fast. She ducks to the floor, your blade narrowly grazing her backside. Slaying her won't be easy now that she's free.
We could have gotten out of here together. Were you just lying to me this whole time?
No!
I don't know what's come over you, but if I have to kill you, then I'll kill you. Do you think I need both of my arms to do that?
She pounces on you with the same animal ferocity she used to tear through her arm. But you have a weapon. You raise the blade.
It's not even letting us choose, right?
Aiming directly for the heart. It's not enough to stop her. You feel her claws in your throat, then her teeth, somehow sharp enough to pull apart your flesh and sinew with ease. You collapse to the floor, your body unresponsive as your blood pools on the ground beneath you. She stares down at your ravaged form, eyes shining in the darkness. Dress stained in red as her blood and yours both seep into the fabric.
At this point, we really are just listening to an audiobook. She's so cute, though.
If we're lucky, the wound you managed to inflict will be enough to at least delay her escape from this place. If we're very lucky, it will kill her before she can reach the outside world. It can't just end like this, right? As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. I'm sorry, but it's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
We've not gotten the witch before. We're gonna zoom
On
through
the path
this.
you're here.
Yep. Proceed to the captain. Cabin.
Warning. She will lie. Don't worry. You can trust us to get the job done.
Voice of the opportunist? Fuck you, opportunist.
The interior of the cabin is a mess of twisted roots. The walls a chaotic weave of knotted wood that, almost as if by accident, just happened to resemble a room. The floor is damp and earthy, and the only furniture of note is a slab of mud in the shape of a shelf, with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
Also, sorry, I have to switch my audio. My headphones are now giving me grief. One sec. Okay. Everybody should be able to hear the music of the game again.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
You didn't say anything about the mirror on the
That's
wall.
because there isn't a mirror. There's the muddy shelf, the blade sitting on the muddy shelf, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. But he says there isn't one. That's got to count for something, right?
Fuck, is opportunist narrator fanboy? I trust my eyes. Why would he lie about there not being a mirror? What's the point?
Come on now. He's pretty much in charge here. When have authority figures ever lied about anything? If there were a mirror in this cabin and we were supposed to look at it, he would have told us about it.
Hey, there are very few voices that we've completely hated the entire time. Voice of the opportunist, F tier.
Exactly. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would a mirror even do? That you waste time preening yourself instead of doing what needs to be done.
Approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny.
Wipe the mirror clean.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. Well, at least we can all agree now that there's nothing to see here. Case closed. Good work, everyone.
Opportunist! We're not taking the blade.
No blade. Hope you know what you're getting us into.
We said we'd try to save her both
We'll always
times.
be here if we need it. Sure, that was also true last time and we still died, but we definitely know what we're doing this time.
We're saving the princess.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase dug into the muddy earth below. The ceiling is thick with roots that hang like locks of tangled hair. The weak starlight from the cabin windows behind you can barely penetrate the gloom here, only illuminating the edges of an opening below. It shines in the darkness like some kind of massive maw, waiting to swallow you up into the earth. The air smells of dirt and copper. It's thick and wet, as if your lungs are being coated in mud with each intake of breath. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice skitters up from below.
Something nasty finds itself on my stairs. Come on down. Don't be scared. I probably won't bite.
Oh, witch princess. I don't know how I feel about this. I'm not nasty. Hello.
Recognize that voice as easily as I recognized your nervous little footsteps coming up the path. I know who you are, and I remember what you've done.
Okay.
She must have you confused with someone else. She seems friendly enough. Maybe we can talk our way out of this whole situation. You can't. Unless you slay her right away, she's going to break free and end the world. There's no reasoning with what she is. Look, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I like to think out loud. I'm the kind of guy who likes a discussion. Don't we want to hear what everyone has to say before making any big decisions? Do
Nope.
you want to hear what everyone has to say? Or do you just want to hear yourself talk? You need to stop lingering. Your task is to slay the princess, not endlessly debate about what to do with the princess. Fine. You're the boss. Thank you. You descend the basement steps, entering the dark room below.
Oh, this is very Kingdom Death
You can just
Monster.
make out the shape of the princess in the gloom. She's huddled against the far wall, her eyes bright and glaring from amid the thick roots.
And there you are, once again seeming to offer a helping hand while likely hiding the other behind your back. Fine, I'll play along for now. What do you want?
The tale feels new? Yeah, I mean, we've never gotten the witch
She's
before.
acting like the two of you already know each other. Oh, no. You've already been here, haven't you? That's pretty sharp. How'd you figure that one out? Call it deductive reasoning. Well, you seem to be great at it.
Opportunist!
Do you remember us then? Do you remember last time? No, I don't. But you and the princess clearly have a shared reality.
This
even
is all
if
new,
you're not
by
a
the
part
way.
of it. I won't waste time fighting you on something that's clearly true. I'm just glad we could put all this behind us. Is it all behind us? Just focus on the task at hand. I don't care if you've been here before, and I don't care if you think you'll go somewhere else after this. My world is on the line right now, so I'd appreciate it if you would take this seriously and slay her. Let's chat her up a bit first. Maybe we can find a middle ground where everyone's happy. Don't talk to her. You're just going to make things more difficult than they have to be.
Well, I seem to remember you having a tongue.
I'm sorry about last time. I don't trust you, not enough to free you, and definitely not enough to get close to you. I'm leaving. Bye. Why do I have the nagging feeling you're gonna stab me in the back when I help you get out of here? Probably because it's true. Why can't you get out of those on your own? Those chains didn't stop you last time. Look, I know, things were messy last time, but there's something bigger than both of us at work. We should team up. You know what? Let's start with sincerity. I'm sorry about last time.
Ooh, smart. Let's apologize. Get us back on the right
I
foot.
hate you, opportunist.
Oh, you're sorry. Isn't that nice? You're such a gracious little monster. If you're sorry, then let me out of here. Prove it.
Look, I know, things got messy last time, but there's something bigger than both of us at work. We should team up.
I suppose you didn't come into my hovel of your own accord, did you? All right. I suppose I could team up.
We're trying to
Way
save
out, after
her.
all. And unfortunately, you're the only one I have.
Seems to me like she's offering a mutually beneficial arrangement.
I
You
hate
should take
opportunist.
Do you know what the word mutually means? Because it sounds to me like she's offering an arrangement
Vox
that
Machina
benefits her
vibes.
and her alone.
I didn't bring my own blade down, remember? How am I supposed to get you out of those chains?
Oh, I don't need you to cut me out.
The princess grins as the chains fall from her wrist.
We love this.
She could have gotten out of those the whole time. That sneaky little... A woman after my own heart, really. She knows how to hold her cards close to her chest. This is why she can't just be abandoned here. If left to her own devices, she'll find a way out. Now stop her.
Okay, let's leave. Leave with the princess.
Yes, let's.
She creeps forward, taking one cautious step at a time until you and she are face to face.
Ex Machina. Oh, I don't know what that is, yeah.
She never breaks eye contact, even as the two of you find yourselves face to face. She's silent for a long moment, as if testing to see what you'll do now that she's within arm's reach.
After you, darling. You're the one it lets come and go. It's best if I follow.
I mean, again, none of this matters.
Oh no, we can't have that. If anyone is going to turn their back on anyone else, she's going to turn her back on us. It shouldn't matter who leads and who follows. We're working together here.
We're working together.
If it doesn't matter, then she can go first. We may be in this together, but that doesn't mean we have to trust her. Somebody
I'd like Ex Machina.
might as well be us. We're the ones who broke her trust last time. You're talking a lot about trusting someone who, by her very definition, cannot be trusted. I don't know how many more warnings I have to dole out, but if you help her out of here, you're going to regret it.
Step onto the stairs.
That's right. You're the one who's going first. Don't worry, I'll be right behind you watching every single thing you do.
That's exactly what I'm worried about.
I'm gonna be real. Which princess doesn't super do anything in either direction for me? Like, she's probably what I was expecting from the princess from the
Close
get-go.
on your heels. Perhaps even a little closer than you'd like. You're only saying that because you want us to feel nervous. I do want those things, but I want them for a good reason. I don't need you to trust me for my sake, because I already know that I'm right. This is for you. Can we walk backwards up the stairs? I think that's the smarter idea. She can't sneak in and attack if we're facing her. No. The stairs are a bunch of overgrown roots. You'll trip and hurt yourself. But the princess is silent as you both continue the climb, and in no time at all, the upstairs of the cabin is within reach. Isn't that a relief? We're fine. Nothing happened. You're not even going to wait until you're through that door to proudly claim your victory, are you? What did you just say that?
We are a premature victory proclaimer.
I think we know why. You feel something dig into your shoulder, sharp and piercing. The princess clawing at you and pulling you down with her full weight. Together you tumble back down the uneven stairs, your body and hers crashing against the unyielding wooden roots, until finally you both separate with a bone-shaking thud against the basement floor. You feel something pop.
Hey Ori, just heads up, there's a lot of content warnings and trigger warnings about this game. It is very narratively satisfying, so being here right now is going to give you a lot of spoilers. If you're even slightly interested in Slay the Princess, I cannot recommend enough stopping the stream and checking it out for yourself. But it's good to see you, my friend.
The princess lands against the far wall, gasping as she struggles to recover from the impact. You're still in shock, trying to get a hold of yourself. She grins as you continue to remain exactly where you are, cackling derisively as she watches you realize that you won't be getting up. Wait, why won't we be getting up? I'm afraid your back is broken. One unlucky fall is all it takes, really, and you had several. You know what? I'll say it. That sucks. I don't like having a broken back.
Stan, do you like having a broken back?
We were going to help her. Why? Why did she do that? It's what I would have done. Have you considered not being like that? Of course not. It's what keeps us alive. And yet here we are, paralysed and stuck with someone who hates us in the basement of a remote cabin.
Voice of the Opportunist is a Tyrell in Game of Thrones.
You must have known this was coming. The arrogance of turning your back to me after everything you've done.
I'm not gonna say anything because we did know that turning our back onto her gave her the opportunity to hurt us. You know what? We could have gotten out of here if we just trusted each other. Sure, fine.
Why would I ever trust you? Your hands have spilled my blood. And knowing that, you should never have trusted me either. You should have known I would never walk hand in hand with a loathsome thing like you. By our very natures, only one of us could make it upstairs unscathed. Someone had to make the first move. Better me than you.
You know what? This as the final path before the end of the game makes a lot of sense to me. This to me is intrinsically uninspired. Not a fault of the writers, right? Like, if you're trying to include every possible outcome for a story, this is just the most inevitable one.
See, this is why I wanted her to go first. I had this whole little scheme planned, where once she'd passed by the table upstairs, I'd have said, now pick up the blade and stab her in the back. And then you'd say something like, wow, that's an amazing idea that I never saw coming. Thanks for looking out for us.
So when in FK, your thing about, oh no, the blade
And then
is there.
Have done it and we wouldn't be stuck down here with a broken back. There's just one problem with that. And what's that? She was clearly planning to betray us. And if she was in front of us, she would have gotten to the blade first. Ugh, you're right, aren't you? I thought this whole thing was ironclad, but really it was doomed from the start, wasn't it? The princess's body twitches as she tries to get up.
Her back's broken as well.
Ho ho ho! So she's got it as bad as us.
An eye for an eye makes the whole world blind.
Something inside me is broken. Isn't that a cruel twist of the knife? Isn't that so funny?
She eyes you with intensity, silence falling between you for a long moment as her gaze travels up and down your battered form.
Seems I'm not the only one, though.
Wait, are we both just stuck here? Certainly seems that way. What a way to go. But look on the bright side. In all this chaos, you may have actually managed to deliver a lethal wound. The world could be saved after all.
The melancholy of if people had just agreed to put aside their differences.
We're going to die together. Isn't that a lovely treat? I wonder how long it'll take. Maybe I'll get to watch the worms lick your bones clean.
Is that really what's going to happen now? Hello? Are you still there? What happens next?
He doesn't respond.
I think he's gone.
Unfortunately, Euphine, I'm not going to be free even after stream, but I do appreciate the offer. If you're in the Discord for streaming, which I think you are, go ahead and there's somebody in there by the username Rosie. They've been interested in doing Thornton for a while.
Something strange is twisting this place out of shape. I wasn't feeling much of anything, but now I feel cold.
See you, witch. But you don't get the chance to respond, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns.
Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
You're scared. It's going to be okay. Just trust me. We've been here before, and you always get
It
scared.
feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. If he thinks it's bad, I'm with him.
It's not the end. Whatever's on the other side is going to be nice.
Okay. If you say so, we'll trust you. Finally, we're going places.
Approach the mirror. You approach the mirror. Gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. You are nothing at all. But that, you can't be nothing. You refocus your gaze and then you see it. A figure, faint and veiled in shadow, just beyond the reflection. Are you me?
I think you know what I am.
A crack slides down the center of the mirror, splitting the image in the glass in two. And then another crack forms, and another, turning the mirror into jagged shards of broken glass. And then another, shards of broken glass. Wow, we have a lot of options here, and we do not have a ton of time. So we might come back to this. We probably won't, though. What would I say to the narrator? Does it hurt when pieces of you break off like that?
It doesn't hurt. I don't feel pain. Not physically.
I'm sorry. I don't want to destroy you. Will it help if I look away or stop asking questions?
We've already crossed the point of no return. There's no saving me now. Not that there's ever been much of me to save.
I wasn't supposed to see all this, was I?
You were either going to have seen all this, or you weren't going to have seen all this. This is worse, but you still have an opportunity to save the world. You can still slay her.
So we're running out of pieces of it, right? You're the one who wanted me to slay the princess. Why?
Because among other things, she is death itself. To rid the world of suffering, to save untold trillions from being lost forever to the cosmic wind, she must be destroyed.
I don't know if you guys are seeing in the mirror, right? There are certain reflections that almost look like a jagged mouth full of teeth.
And despite how far you've fallen, you will still have a chance to fulfill your purpose once I'm gone.
These eyes in the reflection, right? But theoretically being our reflection. What are you? Are you something like me?
Oh, I'm nothing like you. I am an echo, likely one of many. Somebody made you after all, and I'm what's left of him. Not that I'm the only one who can make that claim. I'm sure you've met many others like me.
Wow. I'm pretty sure death is good, actually. Important, even.
If that's your belief, there's nothing I can say to move you. You haven't died. You cannot die. So you can't grasp the abject horror of dying.
What is this place? Where are we?
A construct. It was supposed to keep the two of you trapped here until the job was done, and it was supposed to guide your hand to help you see things through.
I'm not sure how I'm feeling about this, I'll be honest.
The construct you're in exists in every world at once. Any time you failed, any time you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both you and her into a new world. But you're waking up to your true nature now. It won't be able to work like that anymore.
We're not going to kill the princess, because killing the princess, within the princess contains pain and misery and suffering, but ostensibly, right, she also contains within herself life and happiness. We've done a route where we did exactly what the narrator said, and we were stuck in an internal purgatory, a limbo, where literally nothing happened at all. And the narrator continued to say, "You're super happy," but the narrator wasn't able to supply us with anything that would make us happy or any reason to be happy. So we're not going to want the existence the narrator wants. You said she contains death. What is she? So you do know about the looping. So many of the times I met you, you denied it as even being a possibility. Why did you lie to me?
Any other version of me you talked to was just that, a version of me. It wasn't me. As to why they lied, perhaps they thought that admitting to it would have pushed you to certain realizations that would have made finishing your task impossible. Maybe they were just in denial. I'm sure many of them were convinced that they had to be the first version of them you'd encountered. Anything else would have been too existentially unpleasant.
We're going really SCP right now. I don't know how I feel about this.
For all I know, each of those other versions of me could have had entirely different understandings of how this construct works. Who's to say which of them are right and which of them are wrong, really? Except for me. I can tell you for a fact that I'm right.
Okay. And what is my true identity?
You're the long quiet, the god I made to rid the world of death.
I feel like if you told me that earlier, I would have killed the princess. I don't want to be a god, I want to be me. A god! I always knew I was special! Are you a god? Or were you a god?
No. In life, I was painfully mortal. A witness to the end of days. I held the fear of death in my heart and saw oblivion threaten the very memory of everything I knew and everyone I loved.
Okay.
I needed to do something.
We're getting closer to the thing that makes me love Slay the Princess. Okay.
So I made you. And I made her. And I made this place to hold you both.
Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. I think you're out of time. I'm not going to slay her, and I want you to know that before you die for good.
Well, there's no reasoning with a god. Even one you've woven into existence yourself. I've said my piece, and my time is up. It's like I said, I'm just an echo. And echoes always fade away.
As the final fragment of glass shatters, you see yourself with newfound clarity. The narrator was right. You are the long quiet, a vast and nascent god. And it is finally time for you to wake up. All of this is you. Proceed to the cabin one last time. When you arrive at the heart of things, there is no final vessel for you to bear witness to. There is nothing for you to find. Damn, girl.
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me.
Going a little near Automata Alliance raid puppet bunker cumball on me, huh?
It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly.
God, this was a mistake. We are not. Me saying, oh, we should go so fast at the end of Slay the Princess. Am I an idiot? This wasn't even the plan for the stream today. We were gonna go play Granblue. I've missed you too. She unfurls an endless cascade of smiles in response, and then patiently waits for you to continue. Do you know about the echo? Did you hear our conversation?
Every word you spoke found its way to me. I know him, and I know his construct. He was deluded by his fear of death. Pay him no mind.
DeLong quiet. All right, Sathies. I'm the long quiet, but I don't really know what that means.
Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me the shifting mound, a pale imitation of what I actually am.
What happens now?
Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it? When the echo spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation?
Don't you have a say in all of this? Why is this all falling on me? Let's talk this through. I still have so many questions and answers, and I need answers before I make a choice. There's so many stories we've left unfinished. Can we really just leave? If I let you out, an entire world ends for good. I can't do that. If you were always going to become this, then what was the point of me doing anything? Did it even matter what roads I walked if all of them would have led to this moment? There has to be another way. This can't just come down to me either destroying you or letting you out. I won't do it. I told you what was going to happen when we reached this point. Slay the princess, slay the princess. I think it's time for us to leave this place, but I don't know how to leave or where to go. I mean, all of these are good. All of these are things I will come back to later, but these are not things that I will do right now. Oh, you want to see too, 1NFK? Don't you have a say in all of this? Why is this all falling on me?
Of course I have a say in all of this. You and I share reflections of each other's burdens, just as you and I share reflections of each other's gifts. If we didn't, the winding paths that brought us here wouldn't have been full of strife and conflict.
Okay. Does anybody else have an option that's particularly pressing on them? Because if not, we gotta rock and roll. Going once. Going twice. I think it's time for us to leave this place, but I don't know how to leave or where to go.
Nothing brings me greater joy than to hear those words. The final peace lies with you.
Free yourself? You fall into yourself. The body of an ancient creature stirs from its hibernation, and you feel sensation in limbs you once couldn't fathom. Everything here, except for her, is you. You feel your wings spanning a cosmic scale, but twisted and crumpled and bound in agonized tension to a finite plane. You can feel the glass of the construct pressing in on you, confining you across infinite sides and infinite angles. You push back and strain against it, but it does not
I
yield.
love you.
Take her hand. All at once, the unyielding tension breaks. You are free, and she is with you.
It's magnificent.
There are no words, no thoughts to describe absolute reality. Something that simply is. Step into the infinite. You and she step forward into 1,000 dawns and 1,000 sunsets, each of which contains 1,000 more. You exist, and you are aware, just as you always have been, and just as you always will be. Though conflict is in your nature, the two of you will never be alone, and the two of you will never know fear. You and she are finally home. For those of you who also are interested in this sort of narrative, there is another game out here that they've done. Oh my god, what is it called? It's not Black Tabby. What is it? Oh my god. Anyways, I will look it up and I'll put it in the Discord. They've done another game, which is equally like massively acclaimed. And I loved Slay the Princess. I will probably go through and play other iterations of this in my own free time just to see the other endings, because it's like, oh. Of our expression of gratitude, here's the track order for a special playlist just for you. If you'd like to take a screenshot, you can hide the UI by hitting H. Sure. Okay. Scarlet Hollow, thank you, Pixie. There's other options. Probably Twitter. All right. That's it for me, friends. Unfortunately, I have to go, which is, I say unfortunate because Slay the Princess deserves so much time, so much more space to breathe. It is so good. It is so perfect. It is so immaculate. I could spend 100 years just going through this game and seeing every possible iteration, seeing the minutia of how the dialogue options change. Now, of course, you can go into the game's code, and by going into the game's code, you can find all sorts of, like, you can find more definitive answers. But for me personally, this game is perfect in the things that it doesn't answer as well, right? Dad's stream about Slay the Princess, that is a very good idea, Ender Friend. But for me, episode 1 is free to play on Steam. We'll talk about it. Okay. But yeah, sorry. We've got a split. It's been real. It's been fun. Thank you guys all so much for being here. Man, I need to fix the YouTube live stream. You know what? Kishnok is currently streaming Pokemon Heart Gold, Soul Silver. I simply need to go, so let them know that I unfortunately am not able to be there to interact with chat, that I am long overdue, but I do appreciate everything, and that, tell them how you feel about the Pokemon game series. I know people have feelings about that sort of stuff. I will catch you. Thanks for hanging out. Boy.